Hello again, welcome back to my channel. Hello to you, number one, I hope you're watching. Now what we have here is a Mullard. I can't remember the model, it's on the back of the chassis, but it's from 1952. Now I did make a video of this, of the synopsis of this thing, and you know, how you power it on and see if it's working and test out and have a look at the condition of the cabinet, all that sort of stuff. And I accidentally deleted it. I don't know how I did it, but I did. And I don't know, maybe I've got fucking brain damage or something, I don't know. Anyway, what's done is done. So this is the cabinet finished here, as you can see. I used a bit of a different thing here. Speaker cover, speaker cloth. The camera shows that it's a little bit warped, but it isn't, it's straight. Now this colour here, see there? You think that's black, but it's not. It's dark brown. Now what I did was, when I first got this radio, after I did that video that I deleted, I cleaned up the cabinet, just got all the dust off and took it up to a paint specialist, and he mixed me up. I got him to mix me up a litre of this paint, because a lot of radios have used this colour, including the big consoles sometimes. So I'm set for that for, I don't know, a couple of years, I reckon. It'll last. Anyway, but there were all scratches on it and everything like that, so I, stripped the whole thing back and redone it. Now on top here, up here, there's the top of it. Round about here and over here, people have been sitting coffees on there and had those dark rings that you get burnt into the wood or whatever, heated in. So I got all those out, but you've got to be careful getting those out, because if you sand where the ring is too much, you'll get a dip because you sanded so much. So when you sand, you've got to do the whole lot to keep it all even. Alright, so now we'll move on to the radio itself. I'll just move this. Okay, here it is here. Here's the radio here, the Mullard. I had an issue with this thing. Now, when I made the original video, I stuck it on dim bulb, powered up, waited for the usual time for the tubes to heat, and no problems, it was working. I thought, okay, this is alright. So I let it keep running while I just cleaned up around the bench and everything. And then after a few minutes, the radio volume started dropping off. Then it went down to nothing, even though it was on. So I put it on full power, it didn't make any difference. Right, so I turned it back off again, did some work on the cabinet, came back, powered it on, came on, no problems. After a couple of minutes, same thing. Some volume slowly disappeared. So I thought, okay, there's a tube problem. One or more of these tubes in here are faulty. I mean, it's working, but as soon as they start conducting, after the initial spike, when you switch it on, they start conducting. After a couple of minutes, they just fade out. So I thought, oh, well, it's probably the rectifier or the output tube. So I got the specs, the tube data. I got all the tube data on all these tubes. They're British tubes, by the way. And so I turned it on, put the meter on, put it onto the rectifier. It faded out again, the radio. No change. Voltage still the same. B plus, no problems. Moved over to this, to the output tube. Turned it on again. Put the meter on, watched the plate voltage, stayed the same. Watched the, made sure that the heater voltage was good. Checked the voltage coming into the grid on AC. It wasn't there. No AC grid voltage. DC voltage, no problems, but not the AC, the signal. So I thought, okay, so something else is going on here. It's still a valve, but I'm not sure which one. So I decided to start with this one. And because I don't have a tube tester I've got 3 tube testers, and between the 3 of them, none of them do these British tubes. Which is, let me just see if I can find one here. Here we go. Here's one here. Right, they've got this little nodule on top here. I don't know if you can see that just up there. Right, and there's a slot down in here. Just there, you can see it there. And that little nodule goes into there and the valve drops straight in, and that's your key. That's your key to the tube for the pins. I can't test them, so the only way you can test them if you don't work with a tube tester is to get the data sheets and test all your voltages on the required pins, which is what I started on this one. Plate voltage, good. Heater voltage, no problems. All the outer voltages, not there. Well, they were there, but so low that it was just useless. So I knew this one had to be replaced. Same thing with this tube, and same thing with this tube. Same issue. So I thought, I'm going to have to order these in. Now, these things aren't cheap. The cheapest one I could find on this EBC 41 was 35 US, and that's not include postage. And, you know, so they're not cheap. Anyway, I thought, I'll keep looking and see what I can find. Anyway, the other day I had to go down to, Office Works, to pick up a couple of things down there that I want, a couple of permanent markers and stuff. Anyway, I take the usual route to go downtown, and there was roadworks going on. They had a detour sign. Fair enough, no problem. So I chucked the right, went down where they said to go. Anyway, I come up to this house and they had all this junk out the front, like a lot. Somebody had moved out and threw all this shit out. So I always look for rubbish on the side of the road, because you never know what you're going to find. And fair enough, this is what I found. I'll just show you. I found this radio here, right? Now all the tubes were in it, like all these tubes over here, they were all in it, no problems. It's got an eye tube as well, but it was shot. But if we turn this thing, even the dial string was in place. I couldn't believe it. But if we turn this thing over like this, yeah, the switching mechanism has been taken out for your different bands. This was sitting in the cabinet, loose, just thrown in. The switching mechanism was in there as well, but it was butchered. And I tried to have a look and find out, but it's just had it. It's gone. So I'm just going to use this radio for spare parts. So I'll just turn this back over. Now I did a continuity test on the transformer, power transformer, and the output transformer. They're good. No problems. They're all good. Now, sure enough, this tube, this one, and this one were the tubes that I needed for this. And I thought, what a coincidence. So I pulled the tubes out of that one I found in the junk, and I've stuck them in here. So it does work. I'll power it up, I'll show you. So let's see. So she's on. I've got it on dim bulb up there. We'll just wait till she comes up. Well, I hope it works. Here it comes. Hear that? That's on dim bulb. Full blast. Here she comes. No problems. Eye tube's working. So I left this on for a good 20 minutes on full power. No problem, still operating. So those tubes are good. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Bit of luck, you know. All right, now this chassis mounted capacitor's got 2 capacitors in it, a 16 and a 32. Normally I don't stuff them, Some people pull the innards out and put the new capacitors in there. I don't normally do it, but I had to on this radio. Just let me turn this over. Simply because there's no room, as you can see. No room. Now, as you can see what I've replaced here, all these resistors, and they did make a difference to the performance of the radio, I'll have to say, but in particular, which resistor it was, this one here, that made a big difference for some reason. I haven't had a look at the circuit. I've got the circuit diagram, but I didn't bring it with me today. The only thing I've got to replace is these two here. They're just out of spec. I mean, I could leave them on. But other than that, this thing, actually, matter of fact, I think I'll leave them. They're just out of, or just under out of spec. So I think I'll just leave them. So this thing's all done. I cleaned all the switches with contact cleaner, everything. This thing's good. It's ready to go back into its chassis, which, by the way, is a nightmare to get in. You wouldn't believe how much trouble it is. So, now I do have the dial glass for this thing. Just here, I'll just fetch it. Hang on. Now there's the dial glass, right, that goes into the radio. I'll just draw back a bit. I'll just set it there. I don't want to drop it. And if you're wondering what that is, there's a metal strip that goes along up here. It's gold. Now, it was badly corroded or whatever. So I sent it off along with all the metal trimmings for the Nord Mendy. And there were a lot for the Nord Mendy. I sent them up into a company into Sydney, and they do gold electroplating. So I'm going to get them. I don't know how much it's going to cost yet, because I only sent them off on the Monday just gone. But I'll let you know and see how much it does cost me. So once I get the metal trimming back up, the gold trimming back to put on here, I'll show you the radio in its completed, restored form. So that's about it. Bit unfortunate that I deleted that video. The next radio I'll finish on the Nord Mendy. It's ready to be put back together. It's working. I'll show you that too. And then I've found a couple of radios on Facebook Marketplace, and we'll get stuck into those and do those. They should be interesting. I think one's a Grundig, I think, and the other one's a Philips. So big table radios. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Alright, I'm going to call it quits on this video. Like I said, I will show you when it's all said and done, but I'm going to put this chassis back in now. And actually I will change those two resistors, and then I'll put it back in the chassis, because that'll take me an hour. And then when it's all completed, I'll show you again. Alright, thanks guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.